You can talk. You came early. I was gonna say if you didn't want to rush through it, like we could come earlier. I was like, I'm gonna be home a little bit earlier, so
It's good. Then I can get back and work a little bit today.
you got to do that work. All right, yeah. So if you just want to say hi, my name is Jake Budler, or whatever, however you want to introduce yourself and what you're drinking.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jake Budler. I'm drinking an all-day IPA. I will not mention whether it's AM or PM because it is an all-day IPA.
How's the Achilles recovery going? You're moving around. You biked here.
I
in
did.
the snow.
I did. I had a good. Tyrese called me the other day.
Same doctor.
Wait, no, sorry. Maybe he's gonna call me this week. No, it wasn't the same doctor. I lied to everyone about that. I thought I was told that, and I didn't.
This is a chance to correct the
I
record.
will correct the record. I was told that by a well-respected surgeon as well, so I'll blame him. No, but Tyrese ended up getting flown to New York.
Oh, okay.
Which is also where I think Obi was just sent off to. So
Gotcha.
I don't know why New York doesn't fly to us, but whatever.
Great point.
Medical facilities and all that. So no, Achilles is good. I can ride a bike, which is amazing. I went rock climbing the other day with a rental shoe and a big brace on. So yeah, I was at physical therapy the other day and I was like, oh man, it's been 4 months. Like, I just feel like I'm behind. And shout out Lori was like, 4 months? This takes a year.
I was going to say,
damn
like,
that's
up. Like at least a 9-month recovery process
Yeah.
for professional athletes.
What they really do well now for athletes and in general, and I'm a sort of a more aggressive, like get back to sports kind of thing, is they get you back to like mobile, on your feet, able to walk, not a lot of pain. Like the PT and the surgery is really, really good. They get you back to that pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only 4.5 months at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can walk, I can climb very cautiously, I can at least ride a bike, bop around town. They get you back to that really fast. It's getting to, because I'm like, I could not imagine sprinting right now.
Sure.
Like, and that's gonna that's what the thing with athletes too. It's getting it back to strength and like my flexibility shot. Like it's so tight.
Yeah.
That will take forever. But
okay,
fine.
Anything that you've learned about your body in the last 4.5 months that you didn't know pre-injury?
That's a great question. Not really. This is my first significant injury playing sports my whole life, like doing crazy, mountain biking and surfing here and there, not in Indiana, obviously, and climbing, like, of course, it's pickleball.
I was going to say, of all the sports
of all
that you're
things,
listing here, not even the one that injured you.
No, I will say, like, I truly, like, I'm like, I feel lucky. It was like, just at some point I was going to get injured. And honestly, I was like, well, this really sucks. But like, it made it more like, oh my God, I'm so glad that I've never had an injury through my 20s, like through my, never. And so that put it in more clarity. I was like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And you always, especially if you play sports, that one guy.
Yeah.
Who's, you're like, do you even play?
Yeah.
Like, you're never, and it sucks. So no, that's good. I don't think there's anything I've learned. No, I think it's more that like, I'm like, yeah, this really sucks. Achilles, like, I'm deep in Reddit. There's our Achilles rupture and everyone's in there. And it is so long. It's a really, really a mental injury too.
Sure.
And that I had about a month, month of October, which I was getting tendonitis and I felt like I wasn't no improvement and it really sucked. And then like the last 2 weeks, it's like clicked and I feel some strength back. And I'm like, oh wow. Like, and that luck, genes, good PT, whatever. Like,
yeah.
So it's just a process.
Was there a specific moment that you knew, like you said you had that week of just like, damn, it's not going the way that I want it to. And then you said like the following 2 weeks, like, oh, okay, I'm seeing the progress. Was there something that specifically indicated to you, yep, we're getting better?
It was, I really, in the inside of my foot, I was getting tendonitis of one of the other like little tendons in the ankle.
Okay.
And that I was like, this is going to be a problem. Like this is going to last for months because you're doing all these heel raises and you're overcompensating. And I was like, that's going to be, and I was icing and resting and then I'd overdo it. And like, I was battling that little tendonitis thing more than the Achilles.
Yeah.
And it kind of just went away. Like it's still there, but like, I was icing all the time, resting, doing physical therapy. You're trying to push yourself with a recovery, but then that's kind of having this negative effect. So, side project of other tendonitis. No, it just I think that it got strong enough where it kind of just flipped a switch where that tendon wasn't under as much duress.
Yeah.
Rested enough. It was when we were in Cape Town. I actually went bodyboarding a couple of times. And I still don't have a lot of power at all, but like I'm like, oh, I can ride a bike and like pump my legs and like get going. Like, wow, this is amazing. And I was stoked.
Well, I think I saw you post like into your stories, like you didn't actually pop up on the board, but you floated kind of, you rode kind of
that
the
was
waves.
So
which maybe not like the way you want to experience it, but
I was boogie boarding.
Like
I wasn't trying to stand up.
Okay,
I was
gotcha,
bodyboarding, which but there was a pretty big like. You've got fins on, you got flippers, and you want to stay in position. I was just getting dragged. I was getting my ass kicked.
As a person that likes to be out in the water, though, I'm sure it was great. Good.
It was a good
out
time.
there.
I mean, like, and the waves were terrible, but I was like, whatever. Like, I wouldn't have, if I lived there, I wouldn't. No one was out.
Sure.
Right. Like all the locals
Everyone
were
was
like,
watching you.
That sucks. Like I'm not going out in that. Like there's no waves. But I was like, well, I have today, so we're going.
I love it. So we're recording this on the 10th. Of November. It is also technically carryover from the first snow. My man here rode his bike, out on his bike. We're talking about recovering Achilles out on his bike in the snow. It's a little bit slippery out, but you're out there. And I think I'm kind of glad you rode your bike here because it's a great segue into what we're going to talk about a little bit.
I didn't check the weather. I didn't. I was like, well, and like,
Did you just like kind of just shut the windows last night and then you woke up and you're like,
I was surprised. I just thought it was going to stop.
I did too.
Yeah,
I thought it was
gonna, but that was just an assumption. That wasn't because I had any information.
Sure.
I was like,
I thought I would assume the same thing.
But how I sort of got into riding bikes in my adult life was that like I was like, I don't want to drive my car for coming to Patrick's house 8 blocks away and going to the bike shop another 4. Like, I'd rather jump on a bike and like I was actually just telling the story to Matt Martin from Bike People. I remember as a kid, like, I mean, I had 3 brothers. I just remember flying around on bikes. Like, adult supervision, like, I don't think was a concept in the 90s. You ever do ghost riding? I think that's what we called it.
Oh, yeah. Where you hop off the bike?
Yeah.
Yep. I got you.
And that ended one day. So, the concept is you ride really fast. You've got pegs. When you're going as fast as you can, you stand on the pegs, you set the bars straight, and then you jump off the back.
Yep.
And you see who, like, I don't know how our bikes didn't break, but it ended one day because I remember this clearly. I must have been 6 or 7. I don't know. Jumped off the bike. The bike goes ghosting down the street. Awesome. It's into a 4-way stop, and a car turns. Yeah, exactly. Car comes turning around head on, and bike just boom. And I couldn't bike away. I couldn't run away. I was like, oh, shit. So we didn't do that again.
Didn't do that again.
But then, fast forward to moving to Indy in 2018, I was like, we live close to downtown. We've got all these, we do have great infrastructure. We've got all these great trails.
Yeah.
It's flat, which guess what? Like for biking, that's kind of nice. And I went out to Psychic Derailleur at the time that was in Tinker's Roastery. And Chris was the owner, longtime bike grouch of Indianapolis. Great man. And I was like, Chris, I need a bike. And he's like, this is the bike you need. And I was like, cool. Like, I'm going to get this thing and that thing and these things and like this. And he was like, you don't need that shit. Like, and he probably saved me a bunch of money.
Sure.
He was like, you need this bike. It's steel. It'll do everything. And I was like, great.
I appreciate the upfront and honesty.
Loved it.
I like that.
So, and like, I would have spent more money at his store. And he was like, no.
Yeah.
This is what you need. And from there, like, at one point, I came up with the term utility cyclist, which is what I don't know, like, what if you want to term it, but like, just a bike is a utilitarian just piece of metal with some wheels on it. Like, I like being outside. I don't like walking because it's too slow and I'm ADHD. And it's just like this, I can be somewhere just as fast as a car, especially downtown.
Okay, like, you pedaling fast.
No, not even.
That's true,
right?
because
like,
of the way the city's
always,
set up
like,
to get to where you want to go on the bike.
Well, I live close enough. I'll go to a Fever game.
Yeah.
And I get front row parking.
Yeah.
And then game ends.
Yeah.
And I'm home before people are like out of the parking garage.
That's a great point, actually.
Like, yes, please.
Yeah.
And if I'm, when my Achilles was healing, we'd drive to Futuro with the bikes on the rack.
Yep.
A mile closer.
Yep.
Hop off there, bike in, and bike right back. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great part of biking here.
When you were injured, did you ever think about getting a tandem bike with Julia? Obviously, she was probably not at a certain.
You know what? I never thought of that, and here's why: is because I have 3 bikes, which is too many. Like really,
sure.
And I've got 1 bike in my crawl space at this point. Like that did not cross my mind.
That is hilarious.
Julie and I actually have tried tandem biking once. It was on the Riverwalk in Chicago.
Okay, that's a dangerous place to try it.
No,
for
no,
the first time, I think.
on the
Riverwalk?
Well, I guess you could.
There's
Not
a lot
on
of
the
people.
Riverwalk. No, no,
Oh,
no.
okay. So you're talking about like
the
off
Lakeshore
Mich- off
Trail.
Mission. Okay.
Yeah. Dangerous, I guess, because you
Okay, that
you hang
makes
a
sense.
left, you're in Lake Michigan.
Very true.
And I'd say that went fine,
Yeah.
and we don't need to do it again.
You just gotta like really commit to it, and you gotta let the first person lead.
And I was leading,
Yeah.
and I would say Julia probably wouldn't do it again. If I had to guess,
I get that.
neither of us doesn't want to be in charge.
Yeah.
So
Remind me when you moved to Indy.
actually, I moved here in 2017.
Okay.
And Julia immigrated from Cape Town in 2018. So like
Okay.
early 2018 is kind of like when we planted down.
You've been here for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, you've been exploring the infrastructure of the city for a long time,
Yeah.
both on foot, also by wheels, 4 and 2, but especially by 2. And one of the reasons I wanted to have you come through is because you are one of the people leading the charge for the Safe Streets protest that's happening next Sunday, or 2 Sundays from now.
Yep.
No, 2
23rd.
Sundays from when we're recording this, next Sunday from when this episode is coming out.
Yep.
On the 23rd. And I felt like this was a good opportunity to maybe sit down and get a little bit of like just the timeline of how we've gotten from where we were, why this even started, and to where we are now that's requiring us to gather and protest. We're recording this in my kitchen, not far from where the protest will be. So I was wondering if you could kind of set the stage for us, like walk me through how this kind of came to your attention, and go from there.
So there's two sort of levels to it. The first level is the hyper local level, which is the location.
Sure.
College and Mass Ave. That intersection, March of 2024, so almost 20 months ago, a pedestrian, a guy named Brandon, was killed there by a drunk driver. And that was a terrible tragedy. A lot of people don't even know that.
Sure.
And that was at that intersection. And, since then, what happened a couple months later was DPW, Department of Public Works, put up some plastic orange barricades that are
still there,
that are permanent at this point, right?
Oh, they're okay.
Well, I mean, they're not. They're intended to be temporary,
sure,
and they are
sure,
still
sure,
there.
Sure.
They're also supposed to be filled with water. They got filled with water in October of 2025.
When did they first go up?
Middle of 24 sometime.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Right. So if you got a couple of plastic barricades, and there's nothing in them, it doesn't really do a whole lot, right? And March of 25 came around, and it had been a year after a pedestrian death there. And that intersection over the last couple of years has changed a lot. There's been a bunch of construction that's ended. The lanes have changed, and it's become significantly more dangerous.
Yeah.
And so March, 25, a year later after this death, I looked around and said, hang on, we've only put up these plastic barricades, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we can do. And so I reached out to DPW and some local, businesses and organizations, and just started kind of hey, what's going on here? What can we do better? What's the plan? Traded emails, probably 60 emails over the course of 4 months till August. Kind of got to August, September, and was all right, emails aren't cutting it.
Yeah.
I'm not getting a lot of answers that I think are, true solutions or really anything getting done. So we being myself and a couple other small businesses and local bike and pedestrian organizations, advocates, got together, and we hosted a community meeting at Tomorrow Bookstore in early October. DPW's director, Todd Wilson, and their team came out. We, at that point collectively, the take was, hey, as a community, we're seeing and we're calling out, this is a really, really serious safety issue, this intersection in particular.
Yeah.
We've already had one death. You go stand there, right? I asked this to Matt Martin earlier. Have you ridden your bike in the last year or walked around Indianapolis?
Yeah.
Kind of redundant question. You've probably had a near-death experience.
Yeah, actually walking. Yeah.
Right? And if not you, somebody that has.
For sure.
And it's very likely you. And that intersection is truly the epitome of that. You go stand there. I did this 5 p.m. on a weekday, and an average of 3 cars blew a red light.
I believe that for sure.
And the Indianapolis Cultural Trail is world-class infrastructure. It's incredibly busy. It's a well-trafficked area. Groups of kids bike there in the morning to go to school. tourists, folks
Yeah.
visiting Indy, up and down. We've got Bottle Works Hotel, and it's just it's just another death waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So we had this meeting in early October. As a community, brought that forward, brought a bunch of ideas and solutions, and said, we need stronger short-term solutions. Like, I understand
Right.
there's a potential project slated in 2026. That could be a year from now. It might be finished beyond that. Who knows? There's a larger safety infrastructure project that's expensive, but we can't wait another year.
No, we gotta do things now.
We
can build towards that
we need
longer
solutions
term solution.
and actions that are reciprocal and meet the level of immediacy that this problem is.
Yeah.
And coming out of that meeting, I thought there was some positive momentum. And the outcome of that from an immediate term solution is that DPW has painted about 10 new chicken tracks, they call them,
Yeah.
little white lines on one southbound lane, and that's it. And again, 20 months later now from a death, and there's enough. I mean, there's organizational support, there's neighborhood, the community is saying this is a significant problem.
Yeah.
And we've got some plastic barricades that were filled with water the night before our meeting. And we've gotten we've got $5 of paint put on it. Come on.
Yeah.
That's not enough. So, I'd say that. And then the larger level is everybody's got their college en masse.
Right.
Right? You ride a bike, you go to the bus stop, you walk, one of these intersections, one of these areas because you choose or you're forced to not be in a car.
Yeah.
And so that. And so the larger thing is hey, there are more of these, and we need to find, we've got community support. We've got a lot of great tactical urbanism projects. What we're lacking is true leadership and buy-in from a institutional city level.
Sure.
So bringing that all together, kind of seeing what DPW is offering as a solution, a couple of lines of paint.
Yeah.
And I said, that's not enough. That's not nearly enough.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's data to support that. Those
10 lines are gonna. Yeah.
And if I had to guess, that's not going to do anything at that intersection.
Yeah.
So pretty quickly pulled together a couple of great organizations. Safe Streets Indy has been doing this for a long time. And I'd say as well, over the last 2 years, the community and the organizations and the individuals, we've been ringing the alarm bell.
Sure. It's not a new
significantly.
thing. Yeah.
Media's involved. We have been ringing the alarm bell for years on a safety crisis on the streets of Indianapolis for years. And at this point we're getting white lines painted.
Yeah.
And look at it. It's still confusing as all hell. Come on.
Well, that's the thing. I'm who are those lines even for? They're not full. They're ostensibly we're needing solutions so drivers drive more mindfully and safely in this specific area. But the lines, from my perspective, are for pedestrians to just, hey, this is more of a warning for you that somebody might hit you, so you need to pay more attention.
There is also it's called the Fatal Review Crash Team, and there's the Vision Zero, within the city, which we can talk about, but they actually do reviews of fatal accidents with pedestrian deaths. They did that in March of 2024, and they have to publicly post and supposedly share with the mayor recommendations. There was one recommendation that came out of that. It was publicized in June, right? You got to dig for this shit, first of all. One recommendation around improving the curbs at that intersection. And why make recommendations if you're not going to do anything?
Yeah.
Right? Why are we even spending time then having a review team and minutes and publicly posting on, whatever.
Yeah.
If we're going to say, hey, we recommended a minimum, go and fix the curbs here, and then we're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
And so all that coming together, a lot of folks are recognizing this in Safe Streets Indy, Health by Design, Central Indiana Cycling, Proformist, Tomorrow Bookstore, and I'm missing one at least, but these organizations really quickly came together, said we're going to back this. We're going to do a protest. The Safe Street protest. It's November 23rd, 1 to 3 p.m. And this needs to become public.
Yeah.
There needs to be more movement. We're calling on the city and DPW to, again, we're not going to be the best, safest city in infrastructure in the world next year. That's okay.
Yeah.
And we have really good infrastructure. There are really great things happening, and there are really great individuals working hard who care about this, who are really smart, who know, I don't know what the solutions are.
Right.
We have that. We have folks that do that. However, from a leadership level, we are not seeing a reciprocal response to the crisis that has been being called out for years at this point.
Yeah. Well, one, thanks for laying all that out. That's a lot going on. Take a sip of that drink. You deserve it.
All day.
Two, I think it was Bike People was the only people you
Bike
didn't
people.
mention.
Oh my god! I was like, I know there's one.
We've already
It's
mentioned
Bike People.
Matt, so he's already
That's
all
great.
throughout this podcast. And two, I wanted to bring up. You talked about how we have this review team for fatal accidents and whatnot, so that means that they've got to be collecting statistics, and if they're not collecting that, then that makes sense as to why they're only making minimal recommendations at best. I'm not super familiar with Safe Streets Indy, but I was looking up their stuff, and they have a dashboard that's tracking all of this. Specifically, it says the Indy Pedestrian Safety Crisis.
Yep. Again, that data is coming from somebody who, like me, kind of got mad.
Yeah.
And said we're missing something, and well, I'm going to do it. And so that, that's individual, right? That's grassroots.
And it's tracking it
Yeah.
all the way back to 2022.
Yeah.
So it's like you said, this is not a new issue.
No.
Like, this is a known issue that people have been speaking about. And I just wanted to put some numbers to some of this. Like, because the other thing that you said is, like, we're talking about, and this protest is happening on a very specific street corner. And, like, this specific street corner, while not representative of representing every death, is representative of a larger or deeper rooted problem.
Yeah.
So just in 2025, Safe Streets Indy has tracked 28 total fatalities so far, and mind you, we still have 2 months to go. 49 serious injuries, cyclist and pedestrian, and then 622 non-serious, non-fatal injuries or incidents.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yep. It's just a number, right?
And you brought up how, like, there are, like, kid bike trains that go through these areas. And, like, now that I'm a parent, that's what I'm thinking about. And, like, it should not be on me to have a child to think about other people's kids. But, like, I live over here and I see people go through that red light and see people fly through there. And now with the way that they've got it finished, it's even more confusing, and people are trying so hard to get to either go straight on College or cut across to get on Mass Ave. It's a lot. And okay, so I'm interested in, you talked about DPW, you talked about Todd Wilson specifically. We don't necessarily have to name any particular names, but I'm interested in, like, who specifically is going to can take care of this problem. Who specifically can take care of this problem?
Yep. I mean,
is it them, or is it any further than that?
One, it needs to come from top down, right? Like,
so you're talking like mayor, governor, like
Joe. I mean, Mayor Joe.
Yeah.
We absolutely govern. I mean, Indianapolis is the largest city in the state. The cultural trail is probably one of the, if not the busiest pedestrian infrastructure in the state.
Yeah.
The state government does spend a lot of time and energy trying to shaft Indianapolis on things like public transport.
Sure.
And that's something that we as a city need to stand up to, right? Like, we're not Chicago in scale.
Sure.
But I'll tell you what, like, Chicago as a city doesn't take that kind of shit from the Illinois legislature.
Sure.
And I'd love to see Indianapolis stepping up and, like, let's take it to the courts. Let's go. But then again, at the city level, it needs to come top down. I look at it from an ecosystem standpoint.
Yeah.
We've got Indianapolis Cultural Trails, an organization, Health by Design, Central Indiana Cycling, Bicycle Indiana, on the organization side. We've got Safe Streets Indy. We've got events like this. We've got community bike. We got freewheeling. We've got Bike People, like the shops. We have all this we have all this ecosystem that's slowly and surely here, like with this event and others, coming together.
Yeah.
The missing part is, again, who are the experts here? Who's got the resources to get it done? It's Department of Public Works.
Right.
And so that to me is the missing component, is true, strong leadership.
What do you think the barrier is for DPW to not want to go? Because you think that it would be like, it's common sense. We're
Yep.
taking care of our people. Like,
Yep.
and we have people, and I think this is indicative of like our larger political system of like our leaders don't listen to their constituents, so that's why things
Yep.
like the appropriate legislation doesn't get passed. But like in this particular instance, like people are literally have already died.
Yep.
And you have a whole community coalition coming together and lobbying literally the department that is in charge of protecting the people on the streets.
Yep.
And for whatever reason they're choosing to not do. I guess I can't say that they're choosing to do it, but from my perspective as a citizen and as a constituent, it appears to be to me that they're making the choice not to.
That's what we have to go off of, right?
Sure.
Like,
well, all we have to go off of is what they do.
and this, if I'm not mistaken, is a basketball state.
In 49 other states, it's just basketball.
Make your free throws.
Oh my! This is the
Right?
layup.
Make your layups.
Yeah.
Make your layups. Again, we're not asking for Indianapolis to next year be heralded as the best pedestrian infrastructure city in the world. It's not going to happen, right? And DPW and the city, there are, there's structural things. It's, the state government has some limitations on what we can do. This is the UniGov, right? Like Indianapolis is a massive geographic city.
Yeah.
They have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of hardworking people doing a lot of really good things. And we have great infrastructure. But again, from the everyday citizen who this is what we can see. And what we're seeing is here's a death. Here's a bunch of people saying, and in those now 80 or 90 emails that I have, it wasn't just me.
Sure.
I went on the internet. I found a bunch of people. I had folks DMing me. Here's my story.
Yeah.
Here's what and I said, can I share that? Awesome. I put stories and stories of people together. I was hit there. I was almost hit there. I saw this happen. And like you gotta make your free throws. You gotta make your lay. You gotta when I don't need a 360 slam dunk. I'm gonna keep going this basketball thing, but like that's all my basketball knowledge.
I love it.
That's what more does it take when you've got this kind of groundswell for one intersection? And guess what? Like again, everybody's got one of these, and there's a lot of them, and it's not going to change overnight.
Yeah.
But when we get people together, and we've got really busy people and business owners coming together to take time and say, here's some ideas, bollards. We can change the traffic layouts. We can change the lights really quickly.
Yeah.
We can put in short-term speed bumps. Like we got all these ideas, and I'm handing it off saying, okay, cool. You guys are the experts.
Yeah.
Like I trust you that you're going to get it done, and you're going to, pick something and do something that's reciprocal. And myself, and I think the community is looking at 10 new white stripes and saying, that's not it.
Sure. So they are, so somebody has potential solutions or are saying the right things that somebody like yourself would want to hear.
Yeah.
But then the
a lot of those ideas were coming from the community.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Is like,
and so you asked me what's the best thing to do there in that intersection. I don't know.
Well, so that's why I'm interested in like what you've heard from other people about solutions, especially because it's like, we could do a full big scale construction project, make it even worse to travel through there, and like we need urgent, immediate solutions that are smaller in scale, but will ultimately increase the level of safety that people not only that live here need to feel, but people that visit here.
Yes.
We're developing Mass Ave. In this corner of Mass Ave is being developed, there's only going to be an increase in foot traffic and pedestrian traffic.
We've looked at the menu. There's another metaphor. We've looked at the entire menu, right? Where there's a $100 steak.
Yeah.
It's St. Elmo's, right? Like we've got that as an option, and I get it. That's expensive. We need to make sure it's right.
Yeah.
Like we've got some great starters. We got some middle tier things. We got a couple of that. And like we've just ordered the Kitty's cheeseburger of solutions. And like I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
We ordered the kids cheeseburger and we ain't even got no kids.
If that. And it's cold.
Yeah.
Like it's still frozen. And that's where I defer and say like I don't want to be doing this.
Sure.
I have a day job. It's a great job and I'm busy. I run the bookstore. I'm on a board. My wife's pregnant. Like, I don't want to be doing this.
Sure.
But after a full summer of 80 plus emails and pulling together a meeting and bringing this all to bear, like, no, that's wasting my time.
Yeah.
And that's back to your question about kind of leadership. Like, whether it's the mayor or the director or the politician, whatever it is, like, I don't need you to show up to a meeting to show up to a meeting.
Sure.
I don't need you to be there. So you were there.
Right.
And I look at my state senator, Andrea Hundley, Councilor Jesse Brown, like folks like that are showing up to places and doing the work.
Yeah.
From a leadership level, from the city side, if the answer is no, we're not doing anything, tell me that in April of 2025 by email and say, we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Don't and it's not just me, it's all of these folks. Like, don't waste everyone's time and energy.
Yeah.
And we don't need folks to show up so they can tick it off and say, we attended the community meeting, we heard them out, and then we went out and we did something. Like, we don't need that. Come on.
Well, it's easier to give the runaround than it is, again, to listen to your constituents because there's money tied up in it.
You say roundabout?
Huh?
Roundabout? You got an idea there?
It's easy to get people on the roundabout.
Put a little roundabout in that intersection, right? Like,
yeah. I was thinking about this before you pulled up. I was like, or actually when you first yesterday when you sent me the flyer, I was like, it's interesting to me, or it's sad to me that this even has to exist.
Yeah.
Because you would think, again, I'm just repeating what I've said before, but you would think that a city government would want to keep their people safe.
Yeah.
And it would just be like, oh, somebody died here? Great, we're going to put up literal permanent barriers that look aesthetic. We're going to hire a designer, an architectural designer, to make this look nice and functionally safe. And we're going to do that, and nobody else is going to die here.
Yep.
And then when it happens again, because unfortunately, inevitably, some shit is going to happen, like we're going to respond to that in kind. But instead, we're giving people the roundabout, and we are choosing, again, to put more people in danger. For nothing.
Well, here's one of the things that I was told was, well, the driver was drunk, so it really wasn't an infrastructure problem. And I'm like, hang on. Like, if we put up 10-foot concrete walls, infrastructure, that would have, right? Like, that isn't, they're infrastructure solutions, because guess what? That intersection, there's more drunk people. Beyond that, everyone's driving around their cell phone.
Yeah.
Like, there
are
are obviously infrastructure things that we can do.
Yep.
And you know what? Like, if we'd gone out, if after that meeting we'd gone out and 100 temporary bollards were put up, like, amazing.
Yeah.
Is that the best thing? Is that the big project we're gonna need to do in the next year or two? Like, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, if 100 bollards have gone up around the cultural trail cutouts and around that, and like that was it, I would guess myself and the community and these folks would be like, all right, cool.
First step. Like,
that's a great, thank you. Yes. That's a great step. Let's start with that. And then we will continue to be involved and put our energy and time towards supporting and helping as the larger project happens and community buy-in needs to happen, and ideas like, let's go, let's team up.
Yeah.
And we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah. You said that you don't have the solutions. I don't necessarily know what the solutions are. But I know that you're working with people, obviously a lot of organizations that probably have some really good ideas in mind. Can you share, like, I'm sure we're going to hear on the 23rd from people, like, what we can be doing now. Anything that you can share from a solution perspective that we could be thinking about, because again, it's not just College of Mass. It's all over the city.
And I had a good discussion with the bike ped coordinator at DPW, where it's like, you change the red lights there, and then you go down to College and East, right? It's a system, and you've got you start making changes at one thing, you mess up the others, like, and those are the kind of things that, to me, in the larger safety and infrastructure project the next year or two, like, that stuff, and I have no idea, right?
And you plot that out, like,
Yep. And then again, it's the menu.
Well, at least he told you, or at least they gave you that information.
Yeah. And like I'm
gatekeeping it.
Great. No, absolutely. And again, there's really good folks working hard who are smart and doing this stuff. But it is to me, then a more top-down leadership prioritization.
Yeah.
Because in the short term, what we're saying as a city is that, at an intersection where someone's died, that has gotten substantially more dangerous in the last several years, that community is shouting about, and there are multiple folks and organizations saying, and then we're saying, well, we're going to put up some barricades, we're going to leave them there, and we're going to paint a couple lines, and that'll appease everybody. Really, like, it just doesn't make sense.
No.
The math ain't mathing to me.
No. I mean, it's laziness, incompetence. It's broken system. Maybe I don't know if it's broken or if it's just that's the way it's supposed to work to give people a runaround.
Like there's no a system is a system, right? Like
Sure.
There's no perfect system. There are always structural issues. Like,
but a system shouldn't work against the people that it's
no,
built
and
to
sometimes
serve.
it will. And I don't like.
Well, like you said, because no system is perfect, so there's going to be issues that arise. Because again, you can't just come out wholesale and have something that appeases everybody. Like,
that's exactly. So like a working democracy
yes.
is when the majority and the minority change, where sometimes this group is happier and they win. But that winner, that group of sort of quote unquote winners and losers or happy people and unhappy people, that changes.
Sure.
Right? Like in the US, the democracy is at a point structurally where like, and historically, the losing group is often the same group over and over, right? And that, back to this, like not everybody's gonna be happy all the time.
Sure.
You're gonna do things that are better for this and solve these problems and create others. And that's how like that's what small capital P or small p politics are like.
Sure.
Us putting together some rules to figure out how we can interact without killing each other, first of all, historically, and then like, and then maybe get along sometimes. Like that's what from a community level and neighborhood based things. I kind of know where I'm going with this, but it's to say that like, especially when there's consensus around an issue like this, and especially when there's been years of folks saying this is an emergency, at some point the prioritization needs to shift, and we need buy-in and we need better support from the government side.
Well, it's like you don't have to. Everybody's never going to agree on everything, which is fine. We need dissenting thought, not in a way that like creates bigotry or hatred in that way, or like violence, but like in a way that's like, okay, we can challenge each other to think differently about a problem to find a solution. We can do that and not. Oh shit! I just lost what I was going to say too. Anyways, I had a good thing there and I've lost it, and it's fine. But that's what podcasting is all about.
Yeah. Well, it's like. Do you like cold coffee?
No.
Oh, okay, let me get another idea. Well, great. So Patrick and I agree because I fucking hate cold coffee. I just thought, you look like a cold coffee drinker.
But
right?
okay, like, no, I do remember what I was going to say now.
Okay,
so because you brought up that point, because even though we disagree, I think at the end of the day, like you could go to all of our opposing factions. You ask them, what is it that you want? It's going to be, I want better for the people in my community, and that is like. Should be what drives us forward.
Yeah.
So even if we disagree, like we can find common ground to understand like the solution that we're proposing is to help our community.
Yeah.
And now let's talk about it and figure out how do we make this best work.
Yes.
And when the problems come up again, we can talk about it again.
Yep.
And maybe it's time for change at that point.
Indianapolis is a place, and there are other, but like the thing I love here is that like you're mad about something, you can go do something about it.
Yeah.
And you can go like. We have good channels and the ability to, if there's something, and step one is getting mad.
Yeah.
And then it's okay. Like, what am I mad about? Here's the thing. And it's so personal. It's, you didn't care about this shit before you had a kid.
Yes.
Right. Like if you don't ride your bike, like people are like, I don't care. And that's okay. If nobody agrees with me, nobody's going to come to the Safe Street protest.
Sure.
And nothing's going to happen. Right. Like, and then I'm
right.
Then I'm like, oh, well,
maybe
I lost this time, and maybe it's not the thing, and that's okay.
For sure.
One, I think more people can and should try things, right? When you're mad, well, think about like, okay, what are the solutions? What is something you can do? And there's a ton of organizations, you don't have to do something yourself, although I'd advocate, go for it. Like do something individually because you can.
Yeah.
But you can get involved about the things you care about and the things that, day to day frustrate you. There's an ability to do things and like frustrate and like Matt, like I use these words. It's maybe like, I don't like cold coffee and I want to start a group, the hot coffee drinkers, right? Like,
yeah, sure.
And you know what? Like I could probably do that. We could probably get a couple of people out. Like it's a wonky thing. Yeah. Like, go for it. Like
that's so funny.
I just thought you were gonna like cold coffee, so I'm glad we're aligned there. What do we disagree on? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. Like that is it's a hard line stance I take. Is I'm very anti cold coffee. I don't judge people.
Are you a Dodgers fan?
I'm a Cubs fan.
Oh, Cubs fan. No, whatever.
Are you a Dodgers fan?
No. I was gonna call you out if you were, even though I don't.
I'm a Shohei fan. I'm a Moto fan.
Yeah.
I'm a player fan. That's how I always was in sports after the 90s.
It's like Purdue and IU. I don't actually have a horse in the
Purdue
fight.
fan.
Exactly. And like I knew that. And like, I'll give people shit. Oh, Purdue.
Honestly, though, I grew up in the era where we did the IU sucks chant everywhere.
Yeah.
And I also am one of the people that was like, I don't know that this is cool. I don't think we should be doing this.
Anytime I head down 74, and you go past the Green Castle exit, you give the bird to the DePaul sign, and you post it, right?
Sure.
Maybe some people hate me for that. I hope not. I would say do it back.
That's the kind of friendly
and I've gotten some back. I got some Wabash College exit birds back. Like, let's go.
There you go.
I don't know why we're talking about this, but there's
because
exactly
at the end of the day, we can go farther when we collaborate versus when we compete. But there's nothing wrong with a little healthy competition when it comes to like a sport thing.
Yep.
But when it comes to people's lives, that's when we come together. We rally around something, and we try
you've
to make change.
You've got to have credibility first. Doing the thing.
Sure.
Like, I don't, DPW shared, somebody on their team shared, here's a grant that you guys can go get to, make the barricades look more beautiful. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. But you've got to be doing it first. That's your job.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and then you can
Don't
say,
wait till the day before we meet to fill the fucking barrel or fill the barricades up.
Like, and then you can say, and here's some others. You guys can take your energy and take your community and go and get this grant and work on it with us.
Yeah.
And tactical urbanism. People are doing things on the streets in their own communities because they're mad. That's been a thing. Like, but that's not step one. Like, to build credibility, you've got to be there. Senator Hundley, Jesse Brown, like, you might not agree with their policies and their takes, but like, they are there.
Yeah.
They're doing the work.
You can't argue with the fact that they're there.
And they're showing the fuck up.
Yep.
So, and they're not just showing up in the meetings. They're doing the work.
Yeah.
And then I can say, hey, whoever it is, like, I disagree with this thing. And like, I want to advocate for that. Cool. But like, we can have those discussions because I also know you're coming from a place of I'm doing the work and I'm transparent and honest about what I'm doing and who I'm trying to help.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of our big barriers with government, with people or with people that operate within that system and have to, because I think it's constant set of obscurances, maybe obscuring and shading
again, like,
the fact.
Underpaid, overworked.
That too. That's
a bunch of angry people. Like, you're in the shit. I get it.
Yeah.
And that's again, it's not so much the individual level. It's at this point is top down.
Like you said, top down. Always top down, for sure. All right. What can we expect to see on the 23rd?
Yeah, that was good. We're going to talk about that. 1 to 3 p.m. We're going to be on the College of Mass and the corner, of Mass and College outside of 45 degrees, which is literally where someone died. Yeah. Right? Like, you go on the cultural trail every day, like, somebody died there. Yeah. We'll be there. There will be a bunch of organizations out there that'll be tabling, that'll be sharing information. We're going to have a couple of speakers. Senator Hundley's going to speak. Andrea Watts from Health by Design. Central Indiana Cycling is going to lead a vigil. And then we're just going to be out there. Yeah. And we're going to say hi to people. We're going to ride our bikes. We're going to, spread awareness, spread information. We'll get some media out. If you ride your bike, if you walk, if you know people that do, if you like the cultural trail, if you like spending time downtown, walking up and down Mass Ave, this is for you, right? Like, just come on out.
Come on out.
Come say what's up. Put on a beanie. I don't know. It might be cold. Might be 70. Who knows?
Like, who knows?
Exactly. Come on out. Say what's up. Say hi. Take a picture.
Yeah.
Again, Mass and College is really important, and there's more of those.
Yeah.
And we'll start here, and there's more to do, and that's okay. And we'll do it together.
I love it. I guess my last question then, to kind of lead us out of this conversation, is what is, not to look too far ahead, but like, what do we want to come out of this gathering? Like, what do we hope is next?
One, in the immediate term, we need better short-term solutions.
Yeah.
There is a safety crisis at this intersection that needs to be solved. That is the impetus for this event. That's, kind of been the backdrop to all this. That is an immediate thing. Then two, the larger thing is we need the leadership to step up. We have the infrastructure, we have the community, we have the energy, and we will approach this like a team.
Yeah.
Right. And again, where in some situations I'm stoked and happy because I got the thing I think is right. And in other situations, I didn't this time.
Sure.
And that's okay. We have the organizations, we have the individuals, we have the grassroots folks. If we have that last missing component, the leadership and the buy-in, Indianapolis we can be one of the leading cities in the country for this.
World class.
World class. I mean,
infrastructure.
Arizona. It was a city from Arizona last year. I ended up chatting the guy, came out, flew in from Arizona to come look at the cultural trail.
Nice.
And be like, how'd you guys do this? We want to do it, right? Like, we've got that. Louisville, Cincinnati, other cities around, like, they have some good things going on, but like Indy's ahead in a lot of ways. We have the components are there, the energy's there, the hardworking, smart people are there. And I think a longer term thing is that this all gets going in a flywheel and we really, really improve the city, improve our safety on the roads, and make it better and safer for everybody.
What I hear you say is we have basically the entire puzzle together. We're just missing one piece, one crucial key piece, which is that city side, that buy-in from the leaders from the top down.
Yes, except I love thinking in metaphors. Yes, but there's no, right? Like puzzles mean you can finish it and it's complete. It's 100%.
Okay.
That doesn't exist.
Sure.
Right? Like there's no perfect.
Sure.
But there's better.
I like to think of the puzzle as ever expanding.
Yes, I know.
A borderless puzzle.
And I agree with you. We have the pieces, and it's just like, how do we do the best we can to make it better and continue to make it better?
Yeah, and it requires the people buying in from all corners. So, Jake, I appreciate you coming by and
let's go.
Teaching us, educating us.
Right
I'm excited to be on the.
I hope so. I am not. For years, I've been like, I need to go do a media training class.
No, you did great.
Well, I know. Well, this time maybe.
I got a lot of people enjoyed our conversation at the bookstore. Okay, actually,
it's
one
unfiltered.
last thing.
You get what you get.
One last thing. There are a lot of separate organizations involved coming together to do this. I've seen a number of people posting the flyer.
Yep.
What's the best place for people to go to stay up to date, to stay tapped in?
I mean, we really try to keep it simple for this, right? Parker, shout out. Amazing designer.
Yep.
Got this together in a couple days. So this event, what is today? Monday?
Today is Monday the 10th. Today, as of listening to this, it is the 17th.
All right.
Monday the 17th.
Today's the 10th. I started planning this last Wednesday.
Damn. You make things happen.
Well,
I only know you as a person.
I started planning it last, so this was 5 days ago. But what it showed is that it didn't take me more than a couple phone calls to get everybody on board. Yeah. It was like, oh my God, yes. Right? Like, I see the issue, we're in. Yeah. Right? Like, it didn't take me because there's such agreement here that Parker designed an incredible poster. Share that, find it on Instagram. We have an Eventbrite page that'll just have a little bit more information. bit.ly/safe streets protest.
Perfect.
It's all there. That's all you need. And then show up. That's it.
Show up. All right. I do have to say one more thing. You can pull stuff together like that because, like you talked about before, the credibility is important, and you have put in a lot of time and effort and energy to build community, but build relationships with people that become part of your community.
Yeah, no, I mean,
that's a testament to you.
I really appreciate it.
It's a testament to you as a person.
I don't want to tell people like you can do it too. Like, no, I know that I agree with you. I'm working on this network and community knowledge I have. Like, I'm working on from that basis. So, it may be. It's not like anyone can do this. Go. Why aren't you doing it? Right? Fine. But again, I don't say that we started planning this last Wednesday because I'm like, oh, look what we did. But because how fast everyone's like, right? Like if you see that and you get, you've got your issue and people agree, like we're all, it's not Jake is mad about this intersection, which he is. Yeah. But that's not it. Right. So, come out. It's great organizations. We've got bike shops, we've got grassroots, safe streets, Indy. We've got the nonprofit side, Help by Design and Central India Cycling. Then Proformis, Jeffrey Tompkins is awesome, from the private side. Like, again, everyone's like, yes, this is a problem. I'm in. We need to fix it. Yep. That's where we're at. I love it. Taking us out, I do see the subtle shade on the poster with the dotted lines. I'm just noticing it now. I know. That was all Parker. Parker designed this. And I was like, hilarious. I was like, holy shit, dude. those chicken track, those lines. And he was
Incredible.
like, do you want me to take them out? I was like, no, that's amazing.
No,
Like,
it makes the poster. Makes the poster.
Totally separate thing. Like, find people who are great at what they do and let them do that.
That's what it is.
Like,
shout out to Parker.
Shout out. It's
shout
amazing.
out to Parker. Thanks,
Yep.
man. I appreciate
cool.
it.
Thanks, Patrick.
We're done. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Jake. Shout out to Jake. Shout out to Julia. And shout out to Tomorrow Bookstore. Some really good friends of mine who have been on the show before, if you are unaware. So, actually, that's not true. Been on a conversation piece before. This is a different show. Duh. But, yeah. Good conversation. It's nice to learn about... It's nice to be like to have the opportunity. It's nice to have the opportunity to walk through specific issues impacting or affecting our community with people who are leading the charge to try and foment change in those communities. And it's double impactful because it is my community specifically that is being impacted right now by a lack of safety on the streets, a lack of response from the Department of Public Works here in Indianapolis to ongoing concerns being voiced by not just the people in my neighborhood, but neighborhoods across the city who are seeing a lot of incidents, over 600 that we talked about in the conversation, just this year, which in turn have led to literal fatalities. So this is something that's costing people their lives, and the lack of action from the organization, from the people who are ostensibly responsible for responding to these calls, have not done so. And so this is what the point of community is. This is why things happen in the way they do. It is a reaction to the system. It is a reaction to the lack of support from the systems that are ostensibly there to support us. And it is also a reflection of the communities itself when people from all different parts of said community come together around a specific cause. And so I'm excited to be there November 23rd. That's a Sunday. So if you're in Indianapolis and you have a free moment, come through. It is in the show notes. So if the flyer and stuff is linked in the show notes if you're interested in learning more or attending. So go check that out. But yeah, excited to have had this conversation with Jake. Excited to bring this to y'all because I think pedestrian safety, public infrastructure is something that affects everybody, no matter where you are. And if you live somewhere where you think your Department of Public Works is doing a really good job at keeping pedestrians safe, I would love to hear from you. Send us an email, reach out to me on Instagram, whatever you want to do. Would love to hear about how your city, your neighborhood, wherever it might be, is keeping your pedestrians, your bikers, and your drivers safe. Yeah. So if you haven't listened to episode 1 or episode 2, this is the table notes section. This is where we do just a quick follow-up of the episode. We do our quick fact check as well for anything from the previous episode that maybe we need to talk about and clear up. And then we lay out the question of the week. Before we get into the fact check, I do want to address, similarly to the previous episode, we did not get into specifically the question of the week from last week, which was, what is something that people... what is something that you wish people better understood about your experience as an adoptee? And so I want to address that real quick because obviously the conversation that we had had nothing to do with that. So I just want to talk about that real quick, and then we will get into the fact check, and then I'll leave you with the question of the week for next week. And yeah, so the thing that I wish people better understood about my experience is, I don't know. It's really it's interesting. I think the thing that I would want people to understand is that it is very complicated. I can't think of a thing better than the cliche, the really normal version of this response or this answer to this question, because I think for a lot of people, when it comes to adoption, like I talked about last week with the binary, it's either positive or it's negative, and there isn't space in between, and that's where complicated falls. It falls between positive and negative. I live in the gray, and that complicated space in between what is good and what is bad. And that is why I think that's something that people misunderstand about adoption in general, is just that it can only be one or the other, when very much it is this, that, and the other. And the thing that I want people to better understand about my specific experience is that it really does play into this idea of multiplicity, of being able to understand that love, support, and privilege that I was adopted into does not negate the negative experiences that I had that would lead me to wholesale reject my identity as an Asian person, and also to just hate myself not only as Asian but just as the person that I was for such a long time. And I think because I've been talking about it for 5 years, and because a lot of people that are here now have been with me on this journey as I've been talking about this. I think that the level of vulnerability that I employ can also be mistaken as the floor that I expect anybody that I am in conversation with to employ when it comes to being vulnerable about sharing their own story, which could not be further from the truth. When I am talking about my experience and I'm sharing, the level of vulnerability that I have and I employ is absolutely the ceiling. And I would never expect anyone to go beyond that, let alone even tap into it as much as I am, because at the end of the day, I don't even know that I'm being super vulnerable in that way. And so I definitely don't want to take away from other people who are doing that, particularly in the adoptee community. So I think that I wish people better understood that my experience, 100% complicated, and lives in that middle space, and that the level of vulnerability I use and utilize when I'm talking about my experience is just what works for me. And I would never expect or demand someone be as vulnerable as me whenever they're sharing. You don't have to do that. You don't have to listen to me. I'm not that important when it comes to something like that. And when somebody's telling you that you need to be as vulnerable as them, I would say that is problematic and harmful. So, yeah, we ain't playing that game over here. So that's what I think people. That's what I wish people better understood about my own experience. I would love to hear from y'all. What do you think people are No, that was last week's. What do you think? What do you wish people better understood about your experience? I don't think I posted this on Instagram, so I don't even have anything that I can draw on from other people for answers. So, yeah. Shout out to Rick Allen. Shout out to Blasian Says for that prompt. And we got one more coming up for next week, the 24th. So be on the lookout for that, and I'll share what that is at the end here. But yeah, that's how I feel about last week's question. Okay. Fact check. I am trying to think really hard because I know that there were two things that I wanted to fact check here out of my conversation with Alex. What were they, though? What were the two things? I thought I wrote them down in the notes, but I can tell that I did not write them down here. What is it? What are the two things? I know I talked about them in the episode.
I think it had something to do with being in New York. And I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't remember, in that I don't know that I will remember before. So I'm going to have to go back and take a listen to that and do a better job of making my note about what it is that I need to fact check, because I know there were two things. If you happen to listen to this before I actually do that, please reach out and tell me what I missed, so that way I can make sure I'm staying on top of that. Thank you. And that's your fact check. All right. I appreciate y'all being here for episode 3. This is what you can expect from the show. Me to have a conversation with someone or with y'all, myself, about things that are important, things that are happening in the city of Indianapolis, things that are happening in the world with adoptees and Asian Americans, things that are just happening in general that I feel like I have a comment on, and I'm going to comment on it. So I appreciate y'all being here. The response has been really incredible. Thank you to my Substack community. We doing it, and we're going to keep doing it. All right. To take us out, the question of the week for episode 3 is, what do you... Wait. Oh. I had one written down, but I don't, because I was expecting a listener question. Actually, no, that's not true. Technically, this should be, what do you wish people better understood about your experience? But that's what I said was the question of the week for last week. And so we did, what do people misunderstand? And then we did, what do you wish people better understood about your experience? And now we have question 3, which should be, oh, not true. I just told you what the question of the week should have been for this. But the question of the week last week was, what's something you've lost through adoption? I didn't just talk about that. Oh, crap. It's fine. This is podcasting. I'm actually not going to go back and edit this. Scrap everything that I just said. Don't scrap it. Remember it. The question of the week for episode 3, going into episode 4 when we're going to talk about it, is, the question of the week that I'm going to talk about next week is, what's something you've lost through adoption? I'm going to talk about that. Is that what I talked about, though? No, that is. I'm going to talk about what's something you've lost through adoption. And that should be the question of the week. So, question of the week, what's something you've lost through adoption? That sounds familiar because I said it the last week. And this is what happens when your schedule gets messed up and you do not record on the time that you're going to record. But that's what happens when you're a parent. You have a sick child. That's what happens. And that's why I started the show, so I could do it my own way. I appreciate y'all. See you next week.